Okay, there were some complaints about my scam video that it's too long and I wander too much. Like, oh no, you can't listen to more than 2 minutes. So let me break down 3 factors that I think cause you to get scammed and 3 issues that I think are at the core of you getting scammed. But if you want the quick answer, strong, confident, happy men don't get scammed very often. That's the basic answer, right? So what are the 3 issues I think that lead to people getting scammed? It goes back into your self-worth, right? Don't be needy is the core thing, right? If you need something from somebody, that's going to open the door for them to scam you. It's just that simple, right? If you don't need anything from anybody, and you're not going to get scammed. Now, there's 3 basic needs I think that need to be addressed when you retire because of the transition from going to work every day and being surrounded by people you're accustomed to breaking those daily interactions and interacting with other people. And that's one of the factors I think that helps encourage you get scammed, or helps lead you to get scammed, whatever you want to say, right? But everybody has the 3 issues. Everybody has a natural greediness side to them, right? They want the best of this, the best of that, right? And if you don't temper that some way, your greedy nature can lead you to getting scammed. You're going to see a opportunity where it may or may not be there. You're not going to be as diligent, right? And and you're not going to assess things as closely and carefully as you would when you're grinding, because once you retire, you have more free time, but you still have that hunger to succeed, right? And the greedy nature, if you don't really temper, everybody has that, right? I want the nice truck, I want the nice shoes, whatever it is. And so for me personally, I temper that greedy nature by picking 1 or 2 things, and I put all that emphasis or all that energy into that. And it's I want the best of this or the best of that. I don't want the cheap post-it notes. I want post-it, brand post-it notes. Obviously, I'm being joking there or whatever, right? But you got to temper the greed, right? The next one is your need to help people, your need to protect people. Men are hardwired with a need to help and protect people. It's just the way you are. If you're a healthy grown man, you have a need to help or protect people, to coach, train, mentor, whatever, right? And so that can lead you down the road to getting scammed, especially someplace like the Philippines, because there's always people that need to be helped. Doesn't matter where you go, everybody needs to be helped. The doorway that scammers use is they try to get you to spend time with them. So when you see somebody who needs help and you want to spend time with them, you gain a connection to that person, and you start to feel a little bit responsible in the sense that, hey, I could help this person, and if I don't help this person, walking away is not very humanly of me, or whatever you want to say, right? It's not being a good person. When the hard lesson to learn, and many people have said this, I'm not taking credit for it all, I'm regurgitating. I mean, the most prominent voice in my head is you can't help everybody, from King Marcos over State Road. You watch a ton of his videos from the old days, Barrio Barreto days type stuff, and you will learn a lot about life in the Philippines. And the truth of the matter is we know you can't help everybody, but you still get caught up in that. And when you start to spend time with one person, too much time, you start to develop an affinity for them, a connection, and that opens the door to them scamming you. The 3rd issue is men have a need to accomplish things. You need to do something. You need to build something. You need to fill a spreadsheet, make a stupid YouTube video. You need to do something to have a sense of accomplishment. If you don't have a sense of accomplishment or a sense of purpose, if you're not needed in some way, if you don't feel useful to the world, then that leads to depression and all these other negative things, right? But it also opens the door for you to be scammed. So the best scammers in the world are CIA operatives, right? And when you go online and you listen to them talk about how they recruit people, how they get people to work for them, this is exactly what they do. Is they look for a need, they fulfill the need, and now you owe them something, right? Scammers look for that need in you and use it as a bargaining tool to get something out of you. So it's that simple. So what issues cause you those are the issues I think that cause you to get scammed. The factors that lay heavy on you is most people when they retire or move abroad, right? They're not around their daily friends. They're not around the people they're used to, so your daily interactions change. Even if it's just the gal at the corner store that you stop and get a soda from or a bottle of water or whatever, all those daily interactions change. So you're kind of unsettled and in a new environment, and then chances are you're not in close contact with your 5 people, right? I'm not going to relay it out. If you don't know what I mean when I say your 5 people, go Google it yourself. But when you change countries specifically, or change locations, or change, employment status, it shakes up that 5 people, right? And that's can be a great thing. It can be a really bad thing. So you really need to be careful, and you need to build back those 5 voices in your head and build them back carefully and selectively. But you're in a new country, you're trying to figure out how and who to trust, right? And how much. And it takes time. So you're far more open to be scammed when you're trying to develop that reorder or reestablish or get 5 new friends in your ear, right? In your world, who are the top 5. And so that reordering of those 5 can really disrupt your or cause you to be more likely to be scammed. Free time. If you've got a lot of free time, people can sell you their stories, right? They can plant the seed, they can water it, and guess what? All of a sudden you're trying to I'm sorry. I'm thinking about one of King Marcos's story. Go watch his retired playlist, Overstay Road. You're trying to run a resort and it ends up, being a fish farm in the pool, right? Growing fish, tilapia to sell, right? But if you've got a lot of free time, people are going to sell you crazy stories that don't sound crazy because of the way they deliver them over time, and they want you to buy in. And then a lot of people, when they retire, they've got a little more coin, whether it's a big savings or this or that. Jack's Pat John from Old Dog New Philippines is a great story on that. Guy just wanted to help somebody. It's a perfect story of what I'm talking about here. Just wanted to help somebody, had more free time, and had his savings. So the story is, a family member came to him, hey, if I buy this truck, I can make this money, but I need the money to buy the truck. And John's like, okay, I'll front you the money for the truck, and then you pay me. Well, he never got paid, right? So he lost that big nugget. And John had everything going against him in this, right? He's in a new place, new people, trying to help somebody, lots of free time, a big nugget of coin he's sitting on, and he got scammed, right? Learn from these people. It's not hard. Now, the initial video I did was in reaction to our Philippine Journeys video where he's talking about scammers, and he goes on this rant about how it's mostly Westerners, it's mostly this, and he's trying to make it a cultural issue, an economic issue. No, people get scammed everywhere all the time. When you only listen to English channels, you're only going to hear the majority of people who get scammed in English language, right? When you only listen to channels about expats, you're going to hear that the majority of the people getting scammed are expats. And when it's just the way it is, right? So Mike at Our Philippine Journey tries to spin his selective listening and selected awareness into these great statements or whatever, not even hypothesis, these great pronunciations or whatever. I mean, he's just out there saying this is the way it is, and it's not the way it is. It's just the way he perceives it because of his selective awareness. So don't believe that it's just Westerners, it's just retired people, it's just this, it's just that. Anybody who is needy is open to being scammed. When I was homeless on the streets, the homeless scam the homeless probably more than anybody else. And what do they scam them for? A pack of cigarettes, some apples, a better campsite, right? It's all the same, right? It's all the same. They cheat them out of their money, drugs, food. It's all a scam. But how do you not get scammed? Hey, I don't have time to talk to you today. No, I don't. No, when you don't need anything, when you don't need a girlfriend, when you're not desperate to have a girlfriend, when you're not desperate for that attention, when you're not desperate to fulfill the need to accomplish something or desperate to fulfill the need to protect somebody, right? When you remove desperation from your being, you're less likely to get scammed. It's just the way it is, right? And so all these needs I'm talking about, right? They start out as a desire, and then if you don't feed it or temper it or do something to satiate it, then you're going to end up desperate. So that's the quick version, 10 minutes. I hope you got through that. And all these things I'm talking about, there's tons of source material on it. I came to all this because I wanted to get better. I wanted to get more healthy, more successful. I wanted to travel the world on a very, very small budget. So I did a lot of research. I did a lot of research. And guess what? It's paid off. I made that first video 2 countries ago. Now I'm 3 countries farther down the road around the world. And, it's only been a few days. What have you done in the last week? What have you done in the last month? If you want to be successful, do your homework and enjoy life. There's no reason to sit in a chair, eat and drink yourself to death, sit on a bar stool drinking yourself to death. The world is an amazing place, and I'm out here looking at it, enjoying it, wondering why all these other chuckleheads are just sitting on a bar stool drinking beer. So I still do that once in a while, but that's not my life. My life right now, there's a beautiful city outside. Sun's finally coming up. I'm going to go get some coffee and some food, and I'm going to head out. You should too. Take care.